microphone. All right, I guess we're not using this.
Y'all go ahead. I think I'm good.
All right, so we're live.
Oh, I got another notification from you. I see.
Where is the hole?
Yes, I'm subscribed and I get notifications when Mr. Man here puts up a new video.
Is this one of you guys in?
I'm here.
No, I mean in the watching the stream right now. Oh, okay.
I just left. Let me see if
I just wanted to.
it might be me plus somebody else. I don't know if it actually counts. Yeah, yourself.
All right, input. Can you pull it up though just to check? Yeah. Test. No, I don't think it's going through. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, all right.
Hey.
What am
No,
I
all right.
for?
What?
I'm assuming it's through the microphone, not the input. Okay. Test. Yeah, that's fine.
I thought one of these live streams was easy.
Yeah, it was, but I forgot my work computer had something. All right.
Oops.
You want to put it back on now?
I mean, if you want to.
It might be over.
I'll just put red.
Justin Jefferson's got down to the 2-yard line.
Nice.
All right. Dalvin Cook ran for -3 yards.
There you go.
Let's make another.
All right, just gotta get my charger and should be good to go.
Lovely.
This man is just ridiculous. If I will give you one thing about the Chase Jefferson argument, it was really clear that Chase was the number one when they were both at LSU.
Well, that's what I was saying.
But then you would get to like the playoff, and it's like, oh, Jefferson has 5 touchdowns.
No, I mean, that's fair.
Dalvin, go forward, Dalvin.
I just remember Jamar Chase making people look silly.
All right, is that a good?
It's not a good one.
It's great.
That's good for you guys, video wise.
Yeah, people can see my shirt, my hat.
They can see my first place in the division. Assuming that the Bills do the Bills thing that they are looking to do.
All right. Well, let's just jump into it.
Jump up.
Yeah, jump.
All right.
Lead us off, Mr. Man.
I think we're good to start.
Get rid of the ball, Kirk.
All right. Are we ready? We got our notes?
Indeed.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like anybody's in right now, but we'll just kind of slowly introduce and kind of get into things. But Snowman here, joined by my old college mates, Brandon Tew and Mitchell Lee. So we're very excited to be talking some World Cup today. We've got a big rundown, a big menu for you guys to feast on once you get into this live stream. Hopefully we get some questions as well that pop up while we're streaming. That would be awesome. So if you have any questions, please type away. And if Brandon can't answer it, then, maybe Mitchell can. But yeah.
I was going to say, hopefully the Snowman can answer.
Yeah.
I'll give you my best shot.
Well, guys, the World Cup just 7 days away, 1 week, and really, there's nothing quite like the World Cup in my opinion. It's my favorite kind of sports event in the world.
Weird being in November, though.
Very weird being in November. Yeah, I was just thinking about like all my favorite World Cup memories. And I know this wasn't on the rundown, but does anything come to mind like as a favorite World Cup moment or memory that you guys have? Of course.
That's a big one. I just remember in 2006 that great Italy versus France World Cup final. That was kind of an unforgettable one.
Wasn't
heartbreak
that
at the
Zidane?
hands.
Is that not the Zidane?
Yeah, that was the Zizou headbutt
The
game.
heartbreak at the hands of Ronaldo in 2014 with that last-second cross.
Yeah. Well, yeah, USA still got out of the group. And
Oh, yeah,
went on
but
to
that
lose.
was a game that the whole way through looked like the U.S. was going to be able to escape with 3 points, and then Ronaldo just had to, snap a finger.
Yeah.
That's true.
Everything all right?
Yeah.
Let me just check and see if we're still on a
Yeah.
good
I
spot.
might just tweet. I'm just going to tweet out the link.
And I will retweet it.
Sounds
So,
good.
like, basically the same people. Oh, yeah, no, we're still live.
We are. Nope, that's
I'm
not
trying to
good.
think of more moments. I mean, I know they lost, but Tim Howard standing on his head against Belgium.
Belgium,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I mean, someone actually changed the Wikipedia page to Secretary of Defense, which I still think is the funniest thing.
And I don't know if anybody has mentioned this yet, but I will never forget 2010 Diego Forlan and just the absolute tear
Oh, yeah.
that man was. The tear. The hair.
Also,
I just
The pair.
I
yeah,
don't think
pretty much.
I don't think we'll ever get an atmosphere like South Africa, the
Yeah.
Vuvuzelas.
Yeah, my favorite.
Oh gosh,
character.
is it weird that I actually kind of liked those for like a game or two, and then it was like, all right, enough.
Became a
That was just you, I think.
popular thing. Yeah,
Probably.
I still have one.
All right,
Did
well,
we win South Africa?
No.
if you wanted to know mine, obviously Mario gets in the final against Argentina. But
Brazil getting absolutely shellacked by Germany.
well, that was good too, but
Yeah.
not quite like Gutsa. Gutsa, by the way, on Germany's squad after not being in 2018, he's back, so that's exciting. But just to kind of give you a preview of what we're going to be doing today, we got a few different segments. First off, we're just going to kind of talk about some players and matches that we're excited about. We're going to go through our top 5 group stage matches that we're most looking forward to. Some of the players we're eager to see on TV. Then segment 2, my man Brandon's going to feel right at home. It's kind of our gambling corner. We're going to look at all the best bets for you at home to maybe do some of your own research and mess around with a little bit. But I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And then at the end, we're just going to kind of go through all 8 groups. We're going to be giving our predictions, which 2 teams come out of all the groups, and then, a little bit of knockout bracket and who we have coming out of this thing. So I can't wait. And, let's jump in. So with the top 5 group stage matches, obviously, if you don't know, World Cup is about a month-long competition, and the first 2 weeks for group stage. Latter 2 weeks are for the knockout stage, but we've got our 8 groups of 4 teams each. And I wanted to just kind of pick your brains and see where you guys are at in terms of like, what do you think the really big marquee games are in the group stage? You could start with 5 or, whatever. Just
Well, if this match isn't on everyone's list, I think we're not doing our jobs correctly. And that's Spain versus Germany.
Oh, you bring it on right away?
I mean, it's the group of death.
Yeah.
I could say, and the best matchup in the group of death.
That's true.
Is that the group
I
of
wouldn't
death,
call that the
though?
group of death, but
No.
I mean, okay, it's 2 heavyweight favorites.
yeah.
Going against each other.
I don't even think there is a group of death. But okay, yeah, for sure.
I was going to make that argument. I was going to say nothing really stands out to me as being every year. There's one
that's
where
fair.
it seems
That's
like
fair.
those 4 teams in the same group, and this year, nothing really like that. There's a lot of, like Spain and Germany being in the same group together is a little bit, you wouldn't expect it.
Right.
But yeah, Brandon, going ahead and just hitting the heavy hitter
Yeah,
from the bottom jump.
I think that's the game that everyone wants to see.
Okay, why don't you just do your whole list then of 5, Brandon? Just rattle them off.
Okay.
But try to leave me some.
Well, all right. So
see.
1 for me is Spain, Germany, but I'll go back to 5.
Yeah, let me
I'm gonna go with 5. For me, it would be Belgium versus Canada.
Oh,
I think it's an upstart Canada.
I didn't have that
team.
on my list. Okay.
Upstart Canada team with a lot of talent, probably the most talented Canadian team we've seen in a while, probably ever.
First World Cup since
And,
'86 for Canada.
And the golden era of Belgium. This is their last run. I mean, this is like their World Cup. If they don't win this, I don't know if they're ever going to get back and win another one. So
That's fair.
for guys like De Bruyne, Lukaku, all those guys, they kind of need to step it up this World Cup and even make a World Cup final.
Okay. What else is on your list?
Let's see. Well, this is the first game of the tournament. I'm gonna go Qatar, Ecuador. I just think like the first game of the tournament. I just want to see what the atmosphere is like, what the environment is like.
That's fair.
And I think it has to be on the list in terms of group stage matches.
Okay.
My next one, I'm gonna put this below what I think is maybe arguably the best matchup.
Okay.
I have USA versus England. That is going to be an open scoring type of affair. There's just going to be a ton of goals scored, I believe. And I think whoever wins that match probably wins the group. So I think that's going to be a maybe the highest scoring match of the entire tournament. Like I could see that being a
not Argentina, Saudi Arabia.
Well, maybe the highest scoring closest matchup we get because
both teams are participating.
Yeah, I could see 4-3 rather than like 9-1.
Okay.
Argentina, Saudi Arabia.
Okay, and what's your fifth game?
And my fifth game is this is the best team in the world, but they have been tripped up by this team recently. It's France versus Denmark.
Ooh.
You got to see what the Danes are going to do against the French because they played them really well the last couple of times they matched up.
Yeah, that's a really good football purist match.
Right.
The storylines I don't think are as great for that one, but that's a lot of quality
it's the best
players.
Football. I think it's the best football we'll get the entire tournament.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I have 2 of those on my list, but Mitchell, why don't you go ahead with your 5? Do you have any overlap?
I'm willing to bet that Spain, Germany, and France, Denmark were on yours.
No, just Spain, Germany.
Okay, because I had France, Denmark on mine as
well.
well.
I didn't have that, no.
France coming off the 2018 World Cup. I want to see how Denmark can do. All right. Starting with this one. Oh, good work, Minnesota Vikings, by the way. I'm going to sound like such a homer for saying this, but I'm intrigued a lot by – I think that England is the best team of Group B.
Yeah.
But when you have a really, really close matchup between the second best team and the third best team, the United States and Wales, one of the early games, that's one that I'm really looking forward to because Iran isn't terrible.
No, they're good defensively.
So Iran could steal a match.
Sure.
So that's going to be a game that if you want to be, you might have
second in the group.
If you want to make it out of this group, there's no easy games.
You need a result.
There isn't a Saudi Arabia there.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna, all right, cool. If we Argentina beat us by 4, we'll get it back in Saudi Arabia. There is none of that in this group. So if you want to get out, this is the one that you're going to have to win for the United States or for Wales. Gareth Bale, how much can he carry this team through? And I think that's going to be a fun one. I don't know how you didn't mention this, and I don't want to talk about just the same groups, but Belgium, Croatia is one.
Wow.
That's a good one.
I don't know that one either.
And this is one I'm surprised because I want to plug Mr. Man over here, Snowman.
Thank you.
I was listening to your I've watched them before, but I was listening to the group preview videos on the way over. About an hour and a half drive over here. And you were talking about Belgium and Croatia, and it felt like you had a Belgium lean, but you were still talking up Croatia a good bit. I think these two teams are closer. And Croatia, both of them have their top players are older.
Yeah.
And Croatia and Belgium both did well in the 2018 World Cup. Belgium kind of still has those expectations, but Croatia, it's more of seen like, all right, Wichita State made the Final Four. All right, go back to being second in the Missouri Valley or whatever. There aren't really those same expectations.
Thank you for bringing college basketball
for Croatia into this.
Would it be Mitchell without being a college basketball?
I think that's more of a you thing. But for me, it's like, okay, why are there less expectations for Croatia? I think Croatia goes and beats Belgium in that game, sets the tone, and two older teams looking to make that if not now, when type of teams, and I want to see Croatia set a bit of a tone. Is that I can't remember if that's one of the earlier games in the group.
Yeah, Belgium plays Canada first.
Okay.
I think that might be the second one. But all right, real quick then with your other 2.
My other 2, Portugal, Uruguay.
Nice. I'll talk about that.
It's a big one. So I'll leave that one for you. And then another one of that second team, third team, Poland and Mexico.
Ooh,
love it.
That's going to be a fun one because that is the complete opposite of United States Wales, where there is a clear cut one, there is a clear cut 4, and then 2 and 3. Which one's going to get out of there? It could come down to, all right, that's a tie, and how much can you beat Saudi Arabia by or avoid losing to Argentina? It could come down to goal differential. But that game, I think you can't talk about that group and who's going to make it out without directly talking about Poland versus Mexico.
That's fair. I like it. Yeah, my 2 overlaps. So yeah, England. I did have England, USA. I had Spain, Germany, Uruguay, Portugal. But I'm just going to rattle my 5 off pretty quickly. I had Ghana, Uruguay actually as my number 5, only because of the rematch implications from 2010 in South Africa, the memorable Luis Suarez handball quarterfinal matchup. So I can't wait to see Ghana and Uruguay again in Group H. In Group A, I've got Senegal and the Netherlands. Senegal, I'm big on them. Huge dark horse candidate for me. Very excited to see them.
Your boy came back.
Sadio Mane, hopefully he'll play. He's in the squad, but we don't know how healthy he is. So we'll see. But I think Senegal I think they can win Group A for sure, especially if Uruguay's healthy. We'll get to more of that. 3, Uruguay, Portugal. Rematch from the 2018 round of 16, which Uruguay won. So much star power on display there, right? With Cristiano, Suarez, Cavani.
The big rematch.
Another one with the bit of an older group.
Yeah. Number 2, then I do have the Black Friday encounter between the Brits and the American Outlaws. You know, we've played them twice before in World Cups.
Yeah.
1950 in Brazil, that was 1-0 USA in the group stage, and then also 2010 in South Africa, the 1-1 draw. That was the Clint Dempsey shot from long range that Robert Green kind of fumbled and he dribbled in the goal, and
over the touchline.
And USA won Group C. So we'll see it. But number 1, those got to be Spain, Germany.
Right.
I've been waiting for this as a proud German fan. I'm waiting for this rematch to get into a shot at Spain since the 2008 Euro final where Fernando Torres, netted the winner there, or the 2010 World Cup semis where Carlos Puyol had the header in that one. So I'm chomping at the bit to see who will reign supreme in Group A between La Roja and Die Nationalmannschaft. But let's move on. Those are some of the group stage matches that we're really kind of keyed in on. Let's just go pretty quick then with these next 3. I put on the rundown the top aging superstar you're looking forward to watching at this World Cup, the top young breakout player, and then the biggest injury impact, because we've already had a lot of injury news the last couple months. Big names going to be absent from this World Cup. So, Brandon, let's just keep it going with you then. All 3 of those, and you can talk about why. So.
Well, I'm not going to give away a favorite bet of mine.
Okay.
Later. So I'm going to go with my top aging superstars I want to watch is Gareth Bale is actually in a World Cup, and I think he deserves it in the quality that he's put on display his entire career. I mean, I'm worried about that U.S. Wales matchup just because Bell could get one free kick from 25 yards out and bury it, and then the game changes on his head. And then for me, this is the best goalkeeper I've seen probably my entire life except for Buffon, and that's Neuer. Manuel Neuer is so good in goal. And this might be his last go around at the World Cup.
It should be,
And I'm just excited to see. I mean, who knows? Maybe he wins a Golden Glove. He's that good. So those are my 2. And then breakout. I actually have 2 guys. I have Simons from Netherlands.
Oh,
yeah.
He's digging deep here.
He's young.
Okay.
Xavi Simons.
Yep.
And then Swiderski from Poland.
Carlos Swiderski.
Yeah,
okay.
Swiderski. And admittedly biased, Charlotte FC. He's looked great in the MLS.
Yeah.
But can he provide a little bit of help for Lewandowski?
Yes.
Because if he can, that matchup with Poland versus Mexico, that's going to be the one where can Swiderski maybe sneak in, get a goal off of a rebound. Lewandowski gets all this attention, and can Swiderski capitalize on the momentum that he's created playing in the MLS with Charlotte FC.
Nice. Okay. And then the biggest injury impact?
It's got to be the 2 midfielders. It's got to be Conte and Pogba. I mean, you can argue that if Mane doesn't play, that's huge for Senegal. And I think that affects their ability to get out of the group. But I think when you're talking about World Cup favorites and teams that are favored to win the entire thing, and France is probably the ultimate favorite.
They're at least top 3.
Yeah, at least top 3. Just not having midfield play like that with Pogba in more of the attacking role and Conte more of the defensive role. I mean, that's going to be a real wrench in their plans if those two aren't able to play, and it looks like those two aren't going to play.
Yeah, that's for sure. Mitchell, what do you think about with these guys?
All right, so we're starting with the aging superstars?
Yeah, all 3, yeah.
All right, so Luka Modric, keep going with Croatia. I mean, one of the big stars of the 2018 World Cup. He's going against other aging superstars in Belgium, but he has the history. And so I want to go with someone else also that has the history and more of, okay, so you are the big, galaxy brain soccer guy out of the 3 of us. So I want to open this up to you. I want to have a very basic answer.
Okay.
And Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Portugal.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. Might know who he is. Do you think that this is the best supporting cast he's had as a member of the national team? Portugal.
Ronaldo?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, obviously,
that's the vibe I'm getting.
2016 Euros, they win, and
now it's a World Cup.
They win without him on the pitch for 60 minutes.
Well, it's definitely the best supporting cast he's had in the World Cup. Yeah.
Because I get that vibe. So they don't need him to be Superman, and
No,
that might make for some really interesting football.
Yeah. Well, he's no longer Superman, so that's a good.
That is very true. Young superstars. Another one where I'm kind of interested in the allure of Brazil. And they've had so many years, so much disappointment. You've had Ronaldinho as the big, banner carrier.
Yeah.
Neymar,
Kaká.
and Kaká, and none of them have been able to win as the guy.
Yeah.
Well, my boy Vinicius.
Dude, nice Vinicius.
Vinicius here.
Yes.
Is he going to take this thing from Neymar and be like, all right, I got this. This is my time. You had yours in 2014, 2018. Nothing came of it. Give me the rock and let's go. I'm curious to see, because Brazil, no team, I think, in any World Cup in the last 20 years, has the expectations that Brazil does going into each World Cup. And so they're a team that they can go to the championship game, the World Cup final, and lose in penalty kicks and still feel like it's a tremendous disappointment.
Yeah.
The expectations it's like Alabama football. Vinicius, can he be the guy to get them over the edge? Get them over the top.
Okay. I like that.
And then the injury. Obviously, Senegal is capped by, and for me, it's more interesting because Mane is on the roster.
Yeah.
It's not like he's being held out.
I mean,
he's on the roster.
It's hard to bring him on once you don't have him on the roster, so they might just be putting him on there.
But how much is he going to be used?
Right.
How effective is he going to be? Is this going to be one of those where I'm out again type of thing? So, if that's your dark horse team, they're highly capped by, how effective he is. But also, what?
We got someone who said, by the way, you better hope that Iran is already out by the third match.
That's a fair point. That's a really fair point.
Yeah.
And then somebody else, an American supporter, said, watch us be bottom of the group. Our last friendlies didn't look too good. Literally lost to Japan 2-0, tie with Saudi. Oh, boy.
I have a lot of thoughts on American soccer.
Thank you guys for commenting, though. Please keep them coming. Any questions, let us hear it.
It's a group that they definitely could. They could be second. They could be fourth. Canada. I feel like Canada has just been a litany of injuries the last few weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
How much is that going to affect them?
Well, I don't think Davies is 100%, but he's never really 100%. I mean, they're a pretty young team, though.
I mean, you put Canada as one of your
big
teams.
We'll get to our expectations, but yeah. But
I think Mane is the
big one.
I think Mane's the clear number one because that's a guy who finished second in the Ballon d'Or, a month ago, only second to Karim Benzema. He was ahead of guys like KDB, Lewandowski, Mo Salah, Kylian Mbappe. I mean, Sadio Mane is one of the best players in the world right now. So
let's work backwards for you. So
Yeah.
is there anyone for you outside of Mane?
No,
Because I do have one other guy.
It's Mane,
who we
and
haven't mentioned.
you also mentioned Conte, how he does a lot of the dirty work for France. So obviously that's going to be huge. For me, top aging superstar. I mean, obviously Ronaldo, trying to be the first player ever to score in 5 different World Cups. But
That's so impressive.
Lewandowski for me is an interesting guy because Poland and him have been very productive at the European Championships. 3 editions, 11 games for Louis, 5 goals. But in the World Cup, he's only played 3 games. That 1 edition back in 2018, 0 goals. Robert Lewandowski has 0 goals in his World Cup career. So he has to produce at this level. He's got a much better supporting cast, as you laid out, Brandon, with guys like Swiderski and Szymanski and a bunch of other skis. Lewandowski's got to show up. And then the breakout player that I'm excited, a little German bias, but Jamal Musiala.
Oh.
If you guys don't know him, he's 19 years old. He's tearing up the Bundesliga. 14 goal contributions already in 13 Bundesliga matches this year. He's got like 20 goals plus assists in 20 games in all comps this year. So
what club is he on?
He plays for Bayern Munich.
Okay.
But yeah, he's the youngest Bundesliga player to score 20 career goals since the 1960s. I mean, the composure that Musiala plays with is quite spectacular. So
for a 19-year-old too.
No, for a 27-year-old.
He plays like he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
19.
I'm hoping that Musiala kind of gives Germany, though, another dynamic that they haven't had the last few years, especially going out early in Russia and then last year's with the Euros. But I'm very excited about Musiala. And then, as I said, Mane would be my biggest injury impact guy.
I think there's one guy we didn't mention.
Who's that?
Who this team, it might not matter in terms of the group, but Son being out for South Korea is he's their engine. He's what makes them go. A lot like Lewandowski or Mane. He does that for South Korea.
And we'll talk about that more in Group H. But he's also kind of like Mane. But they might have released their squad today. Actually,
right.
I haven't seen. I'm assuming he's in it, but he is kind of fighting a race against time with a eyeball fracture injury. So. We'll see. I mean, I don't know how much you use your eyes in.
Blindfold.
But please, though, leave a comment, ask questions, though, as we go through this kind of World Cup roundtable preview chat, whatever you want to call it. I was going to say something, but now I'm blanking. But yeah, let's get to some of our favorite bets, though. Now, So. Very scared for Deutschland. Oh no, I'm not scared, man. We can take Spain.
Be afraid.
The only thing I'm afraid of, Oscar, is if we win the group, we got to play Brazil then in the quarters.
So
that could be scary, Oscar.
We'll
get to that. All right, gambling corner, Brandon. I want you to give me one of your 5 bets. So all 3 of us, we each went through our favorite 5 bets for this World Cup, and I feel all 5 of mine are stone cold locks. What do you think, Brandon?
This one, I mean, it's like a favorite to win the Golden Boot, but or the Golden Ball. Sorry, the Golden Ball.
Golden Ball.
I'm gonna go with De Bruyne. I think Belgium
is the odds?
Very, very good this World Cup, and he's plus 1400. So I mean, you're taking a stab in the dark there, but
they basically have to make the final.
Yeah, when you're making a bet like that, you're betting on the team as well.
Yeah, I would rather just bet Belgium plus 1400 to win the whole thing because, if we don't win it, is he going to win the Golden Ball? I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, I like De Bruyne a lot. I mean, as a Man City fan, also. Yeah.
Right. I've looked at these odds. I know all the odds, man. I've been staring at this stuff for months. I'm just letting you know. But all right, Mitchell, what you got to start us off with?
I thought we had to go with 5 different ones.
Yeah, 5. Just give us one, though.
All right. So might going to be a little bit of spoilers for the next segment that we have.
Okay.
Croatia is plus 275 to win the group.
Oh, I didn't see any of those, but okay.
But that was the one that I primarily looked at.
Okay.
To win groups. Croatia plus 275 to win Group F.
Nice.
I like that one a lot. You were mentioning France and Denmark. Denmark is plus 250 to win that group.
You putting them together?
I'm not putting them together. I like that number a lot. Senegal even to advance from Group A. That feels like stealing money. I could be wrong.
Well, if Mane plays, it is stealing money.
Yep. Group E, Japan plus 170 to finish last in the group. Costa Rica's made some runs before in the World Cup. I think that plus 170 is a decent number.
You're just giving us all your bets?
I guess he is.
Isn't that the job?
No, we were
I
supposed
said
to
one, but that's okay.
Oh, well, I gave like 6.
That's good.
Japan to finish last. Japan looked really good in the run-up to the World Cup. So I don't know if they're going to finish last in that group.
Group G, Serbia's even to get out of that group.
Okay, well, that's literally a toss-up, though, so those odds make sense.
Yeah.
Well, Serbia, Switzerland is
the toss-up.
Yeah. Group H, I know you said that South Korea was littered with injuries, but Ghana is plus 105 to finish last in that group.
And you like that?
And I like that. I like that.
Well, what I was going to say before, by the way, was with Son, it's like Son Heung-min, the Tottenham star. He's like an 89 overall in FIFA, and then their second best player is like a 75. So think of that's how Korea.
Right.
So if he's there, I agree with you. Then that's a better bet that Ghana finishing last. But otherwise, I mean, we saw it 4 years ago. He took down Germany like that.
I know you're also a big history guy, and Ghana has a history of some surprise World Cup.
They play very physical brand of football.
Yeah,
they're defensive.
I know my history.
They're always around.
I know my history. Ghana, one of 3 African nations to have ever made the World Cup quarterfinals. So
missing the Ivory Coast, I feel like they're always in it.
Yeah, it's sad. Sad. All right. Wait, before you do the rest of yours, Brandon, I got one that wasn't on my top 5, but just a fun one for you. 164.5 total goals in this tournament. Over, under. So 164. Last year we had 160, or 2018 we had 169.
Yeah.
2014 we had 171. So it seems like easy money. How many over? But 2010 was 145. 2006 was 147. So how do you feel? Maybe with VAR now though, like
that's
more penalty.
There's so many offsides calls, dude. Like how many offsides VAR calls?
So
is there a number for how many goals get overturned?
No.
I mean,
I just saw 164.5.
Watching the Premier League and Bundesliga, it's like a goal a game is taken back. It feels like so. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would maybe go with the over, not just because it's fun to watch goals being scored, but
like for goals.
Not to like. If I'm watching Brazil, I don't want them to be like, oh, let's pound this team 9-0, but it helps the bet. You know what I mean? It helps the bet.
All right. Well, since Mitchell did all his, Brandon, why don't you just do all yours? And then since I'm a little biased with mine, I think I really went digging for mine. I think you're gonna like mine. So, Brandon, just finish up your list, though.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep all mine are like Golden Glove or Golden Ball.
See, I really went through this.
Yeah, you went deep, and that's on me. That's on me. But I will say a bet to start off the tournament. Why don't we just do like a nice Ecuadorian guitar, tie it half, tie it full time for a nice 350, right? Plus 350.
Wow, that's both together.
Yeah, together. Like, why don't we just tie them together? And, And instead of just doing the straight tie for like 275, like just
get a little more juice.
Get a little more juice. Honestly, you could go first half 0-0, second half tie if you really want to. And that'd probably be like plus 410 or something like that. But for me, this is where I was talking about aging stars and a guy who I think might win the Golden Glove, and that is my boy, Peter Schmeichel. He's plus 330.
Casper Schmeichel. It's actually Peter Schmeichel's son. His name is Casper.
Oh,
yeah.
It was plus 3,300.
Oh, that's good odds.
So.
See, I like that because Denmark doesn't have to like make the final for him to win that.
No,
necessarily.
He could just save everything, and that's wins plus 3,300.
Yeah, all right.
So that's where I'm at, and then a lot of my other ones are like, I was looking at like USA to advance.
Yeah,
it's like plus 100.
Okay.
Like.
Again, though, just like Serbia, Switzerland, USA, Wales is kind of a toss-up for me.
Right. And the thing with that group is, I think you're fighting against everyone in the group as opposed to just 2 other teams.
And this might be giving away my selections for the groups.
Oh.
But if we don't have Eltree advancing. What do we do?
We're not going to, but okay. So what?
They've advanced in the last 7 World Cups they've been.
And they've lost in every single round of 16 match the last 7 editions.
And that trend will continue.
Okay.
The history repeats itself.
What are the odds for them to advance out of the group?
I think it was like plus 320, but I can look it up.
No, it can't be. It can't be plus 320.
No, I'll look it up.
With respect, I have to.
Sure. You think it's like 2 something?
No, it's got to be. It's got to be like right around 100, like even odds.
No,
For
that's
Mexico
fair.
to get
I'll
out of
look
the
it up
group.
while you do this.
Okay. All right. Number 5, Group D, highest scoring group. So they're
Group
third.
D, highest scoring.
It's plus 550.
Who's in Group D?
So that is France, Denmark, Australia, Tunisia.
So
that's
you're
third
banking on
behind
France
E and C.
Denmark.
You've got 2. Yeah, I'm banking on France and Denmark
Just put
feasting
a
on
lot of goals.
Australia and Tunisia. Tunisia, in my opinion, is the worst team in this 32-team field.
Really?
I have no respect for Tunisia's football team.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure they're a great country.
I was looking at some like computer like model stuff.
Yeah.
Costa Rica is actually the lowest percentage to like get out of like a group.
That's
But
Spain and
I
Germany
think
are pretty good.
Tunisia-
Wow, you I had
Tunisia.
Australia plus 110 to finish last in the group.
So,
All right.
I think Tunisia
Well-
is arguably the worst scoring in
Socceroos.
football.
My point is plus 550. Like that's better juice. Group E is the favorite. They're plus 325, but like so they assume Germany and Spain are going to beat up on Japan and Costa Rica, but like I feel like Japan is a much more solid team than Australia or Tunisia. Australia barely got to this World Cup in dramatic fashion. All credit to them, but like I don't know. France and Denmark, I just have a lot of faith. So Group D, highest scoring group. I like that. How about, you guys talked about, golden balls or golden boots or, whatever.
Golden gloves.
I'm going to put a golden boot with a team winning.
Okay.
Brazil winning the title with
Neymar.
with Neymar golden boot, 25 to 1. And those are the best odds. I am worried.
I was going to say that probably does have the best odds of that.
Yeah. There's probably, but I am worried about Mitchell, as you said, Vinicius. I'm worried about Richarlison, Gabriel Jesus. I'm worried about maybe someone else on Brazil takes Neymar's goal scoring thunder. But I just like putting them together because I'm very confident in Brazil. I think that's more juice. One of you said something about Senegal. I love Senegal getting out of the group, so I'm going to parlay Senegal with Poland. Senegal minus 140, Poland minus 110 to get out of the group. That's plus 227 odds as a parlay. And then my top 2 I really am in love with.
Let me hop on that, by the way. That Senegal-Poland parlay. What was that juice again?
Plus 227.
I am right there with you on that. That's good.
So, as I was saying, Mexico is minus 120, but I'm going to parlay that with the U.S. So I want CONCACAF to advance to
you want
the CONCACAF bias.
Hey, you want to add Canada to that?
might as go all the way.
Costa
So
Rica?
13 parlay for CONCACAF to advance.
How did I know you were bringing that CONCACAF
Should I
bias?
just throw in Costa Rica too? Yeah, just throw.
Do not throw in because they're not getting out of the group.
All
right. Number 2.
Okay.
First time winner. No. Minus 350.
Okay.
So
who's the favorite as far as first time winners?
So listen.
Yeah.
So if I say no at minus 350, I got the top 6 teams. I just need one of the top 6 teams to win it. Brazil, Argentina, France, England, Spain, Germany. They've all won the World Cup before. I need one, and I even have Uruguay in my back pocket too.
I can't wait to break it to you.
So basically, you're just betting against Portugal, Belgium, and Netherlands.
Well, I can't break it to
If you think as long as one of those, because those are really the 3 teams that have never won who might be able to win this time around.
I'm with you as far as that goes. However,
What's the problem? Yeah.
You are going to be sweating. I think that you get that, but I think
got
that
the top 6.
I think that there is a team in that group that you mentioned. Multiple teams of the ones you mentioned are going to be in the Final 4.
What? Belgium, Netherlands, and Portugal?
Yes.
This
Two
is
of those
maybe.
4 teams are going to
Those are very good teams.
You're going to be forced to sweat. However, I do like your odds as far as if one of those top 6 teams. And what was the juice on that? You said plus 3 something?
It was minus 350. So
he's just winning.
if you want to say yes, it's plus 250.
But
so
but he's thinking you could put like
So like
$100 on that.
obviously it's favored. It's favored that a former champion is going to win again this year because.
Right.
Well, then I might like that just to sprinkle some on the yes, just because of the number.
I mean, yeah, but are we really getting?
You're not getting much with minus 350.
Yeah, I know, but it's a virtual lock for me. You got
Challenge
Brazil,
yourself,
Argentina,
Greg.
France, England, Spain,
He's
Germany.
saying you could put $400 on it. And
I'm not going to put.
You
$400.
are going to. If you put that much on,
would
you're
not
going to be
worry about
sweating.
You'd be like,
That's true, and you got a
$400.
point. Like Croatia made the final 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So in that case, I would have had to been sweating until the final match.
And I'm not saying that sweat isn't good for you. I'm just saying that, like, man, I for that little
Sweat is not the
reward.
same juice we want.
Wow, I'm shocked this isn't going over so well.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a big hit.
Well, you thought wrong.
You got mad at me for like picking like a plus 3,300 like Golden Glove winner.
No, I just thought it wasn't creative. You know, it could have been more creative. But, like I had to dive deep into the playbook.
Lowest scoring team, bro. Would you take Kirsten?
Right,
So
stuff
plus
like that.
600.
Yeah. Well, all right. My final one, the can't lose parlay.
Okay, I love can't
Does
lose
such a
parlays.
thing exist?
The
No,
can't
they do.
lose
They do.
parlay. All right.
All right.
I need you guys to put your listening ears on. Okay.
Turn it on.
How many legs is this?
5 legs.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be a lot more than that.
It's a can't lose parlay, meaning
Can't lose.
it can't lose.
It's going to lose.
All right. I just need these 4 teams to advance out of the group stage, and I need 1 team to not. I just need France at minus 1,200 to get out of the group.
Okay.
I need Brazil to get out of their group.
Right.
There's no way Brazil doesn't get out of the group. Belgium at minus 900 to advance out of the group.
Okay.
Germany at minus 800. And then I sprinkled in Saudi Arabia at minus 800 to not advance out of Group C. Of those 5, we got minus 148 odds. I'll turn it over to you, gentlemen. Tell me who loses.
I don't think you're wrong with either one of those, but you had Spain in there, right? Not to.
No, I didn't have Spain. I have France, Brazil, Belgium,
And
Germany.
these are advanced, not win the group.
Not win the group, just advance.
So-
France, Brazil, Belgium, Germany, and then I just need Saudi Arabia to.
I hate to break it to you, but
Whoa, what?
whoever commented earlier, I think it was Oscar.
Yeah,
Germany feels like the one that might not advance.
really.
I disagree. I
They
Because what
back-to-back
other
World Cups.
team would not
Well,
out of groups.
So here are my
You got
things.
Germany, Spain.
Look, Brazil. I think they're the safest because they're in a tough group, but they're the best team in the world.
Oh, they're gonna blow out.
France, I'm a little worried about the defending champ curse. You know, the last 3 defending World
I'm
Cup champs
worried about
haven't
the
gotten out of
midfield.
the group.
Like they will get
But-
like run on in the midfield.
Sure, but I'm not worried about France against Australia and Tunisia,
Right.
so they're good. Belgium, honestly, is the only one I'm a little
That's
scared
the
of.
one that I could see. Like if Canada really turns it up.
Yeah, because Croatia and Morocco are formidable too.
No, that's fair.
but
That's
Germany is the most successful
Croatia's
team in
still
World
more
Cup
formidable.
history. They've got the most top 3 finishes. They got this, that.
right, but something
Two
doesn't seem
editions in a
right.
row. They're not going to get out of the group.
Something doesn't seem right because even
They got a new coach. They got a fresh vibe,
even
man.
the League
Something's
Nations,
not
the League
wrong.
Nations matches did not look good.
All right.
And it just they like
So-
by virtue were better than teams because they tied. Rather than like they
Look.
weren't stepping on the throat of people like they usually do.
I'm just saying, I was so extra secure with this can't lose parlay. I didn't even include Argentina just because I was like, wait, they have Poland and Mexico in their group. I don't want to, I
I
didn't
would feel
include.
better about
You didn't
Argentina.
I
include
didn't
Uruguay.
include England, and I didn't include Portugal, even though those are 3 other group favorites that I didn't like as much.
I'm with you on this can't lose parlay, and I think that it won't lose. I like you put you put it on this as far as like all right, I'm not going to get much of a reward.
It's minus
But-
148.
Exactly. This is the one that you do it with, not that stupid whatchamacallit thing where you're like
First time winner, no. I got Brazil, France, Argentina, England, Spain, Germany, Uruguay.
That's pretty good.
I know, but you also have the Netherlands, Portugal, Belgium. You're gonna have some heavy hitters.
The worst
You know,
part of
Belgium
that-
might be, a couple of washed
the worst
games,
part of
but
that would be if like Ecuador made like a run to the quarterfinals or something
get out,
like that. I
leave.
mean,
You're no longer
Well, they
part
can
of
make
this
the
video.
quarters, but like, you think I'm scared making a first-time winner bet? No, and I'm scared of Ecuador to win the whole thing.
You're not scared of the Dutch though.
Well, I am. The Dutch could absolutely win.
Are
the
you
whole
scared
thing.
of Tunisia?
No, Tunisia's the worst team in this field. I'm sorry.
In no land,
No.
you have a lot of like. Mitchell's right. There's like 4 or 5 teams that clearly could win, but I think Brazil, Germany, Spain, and Argentina are so much better than a lot of the other teams that it's hard for me to not think that one of those 4 teams is going to win.
You have the top 6.
No,
That's
I agree.
Mitchell, I'm putting it in your terms here. If you could, Super Bowl-wise, let's say I'm giving you the Eagles, I'm giving you the Cowboys, the Bills, and the Chiefs. Are you taking that, or are you taking the field?
Absolutely not, because the Jets won the Super Bowl.
All right, he's an idiot. But that's all right. All right. We just want to say thank you guys for joining us. By the way, we're going to keep it going, but if you're in, and please ask questions. We've got a few so far, but appreciate you guys taking some time with us here. We're very excited with the World Cup on the horizon, just 1 week away. So that kind of wraps up some of our favorite bets. And now we're just going to go through the groups a little bit, talk about who we actually have coming out, and which are advancing to the knockout stage. I'll start with Group A because it's the first letter of the alphabet. But
is it?
My big shock. So I think I actually went chalk with my other 7 groups in terms of.
I was going to say.
I went chalk with group winners.
Are you doing what I think you're about to do?
But I do have Senegal winning Group A over the Netherlands. Netherlands still advances in second place. But I just think hopefully Sadio Mane is healthy enough. But these are the 2021 African Cup of Nations champions. Senegal's got a lot of they've got a really strong spine in terms of defense with Idrissa Gueye and Cheku Kouyaté in the midfield, and then Koulibaly, Diallo, center backs. I really like the spine of that team. Defensively sound, and they've got some exciting guys up front. But hopefully Mane, they do rely on him so much to be creative in attack. So I'm hoping he's healthy. And then Netherlands, just too much talent to fall behind Qatar and Ecuador. My one stat I want to say about Qatar. Qatar is the first World Cup host since 1930. That's the first ever World Cup where the host nation had never been to the World Cup previously.
Interesting.
They are a host nation making their debut. And look.
So like South Africa made a World Cup.
Yeah, South Africa played in, was it 02 or so? Yeah, they've been there before. Every other nation, host nation, had played in the world, aside from 1930. Obviously, Uruguay can't play in a World Cup before the World Cup existed. But my point is, I hope the atmosphere is great. I hope it's an awesome party time in Qatar. But my hopes are not high for the host nation. Again, Senegal, Netherlands in Group A. You guys feel the same? Or
most teams that host and
we don't feel the same.
No, you don't have those 2 teams coming out?
I thought you were talking about the order.
Yeah.
Well, I am very much Netherlands Senegal.
I have some notes here. The Dutch have never failed to make it out of the World Cup in their previous 10 attempts. Their previous 10 attempts.
That's good.
So they're probably going to advance. Looking at this group, there's no way the Dutch don't advance. But the question is whether they will be the winners or in second place. And I think if Mane plays, you have a real shot to get a 1-0 victory versus the Dutch in that match or something like that. But Senegal is so disciplined in the back half and in the final third. I mean, they made it to this World Cup after beating Egypt in penalties, after it being scoreless the entire time. So they don't concede easily.
Okay.
And I think that does favor you in terms of, I think Senegal will get out. Whether they win comes strictly down to if Mane plays. If Mane plays, they will have a chance because he's so good and so physically imposing on the pitch that he can create one goal here or there for them to have a chance to win. I find it hard to believe that they have a way to create that goal scoring if he's not.
Mitchell, who you have advancing?
I've got Netherlands and I've got Senegal. Senegal was one of the ones that I mentioned earlier, even odds to advance. But that does not mean I think they're going to win the group.
All right. Plus 325 odds to win the group. I like that cheese.
You can take that cheese, but you know what? That cheese might be covered in rat poison. It's meant for you to take that cheese. And no, the Netherlands, come on, man, don't overthink this. I know this is a good line, and you like the money, but I think you're overthinking it.
No, but I'm just saying I can't pick all 8 group favorites to win the group.
And you don't have to.
Well, I think the other 7 are.
You picked the group when they're you picked the group that has their best player injured. It's not very smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're
still really good defensively, and I don't think they'll.
What if the Netherlands ever let us down in the World Cup?
All right. In terms of head coaches, you got on one side Alou Cisse, who's like the coolest dude ever, and then you got like 70-year-old plus Louis Van Gaal, who's like on his last legs.
So ask me this: would I rather have Drew Lock, who's rapping on the sidelines, or Tom Brady, who's not doing that and is old?
Yeah, it wasn't like just a age is bad, but whatever.
I'm cool, so therefore I win.
So
Alou Cisse,
we haven't really
his
talked
players
about,
would die for him.
We haven't really talked about Ecuador, but they only have one
true.
defeat in their last 14 matches, and they just tied yesterday with Iraq.
That's
So I don't know what to take away from that other than they don't lose.
Wait,
so could they get 3 draws?
That's so funny that you said one defeat in their last 14.
I think so.
I actually had it written down as like a knock against Ecuador that they were only 2-6-1 in 2022. So 2-6-1 in their last 9. So basically, they just always draw. I guess.
They always draw. So 3 points can get them out. I mean, I don't think so.
No, not with Qatar, because Senegal and Netherlands are probably both going to be.
I do think this group lends itself to maybe being more defensive than other groups.
So,
well,
I don't think this is going to be the highest scoring
group.
group.
I think this could be one of the lower scoring groups. But yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Let's move on to Group B then. Group B: England, USA.
I actually have some shocks.
Wales, Iran. You want to start off then? What's shocks?
Yeah, shocks.
You're not going to say that
really
U.S.
shocking
doesn't make it out,
Mitchell thinks that England is the clear favorite in this group.
Well, so are the numbers.
It's coming home.
And the numbers say they are.
Okay.
But if you watch them play, there isn't a cohesiveness right now.
Yeah.
There isn't a flow to the way they're playing, and they haven't really been scoring a lot. And I think it's bad that their first game is not against Wales or the United States. It's against Iran. And the one thing you can say about Iran is they're going to literally pack it in, be defensive shape, and who knows, that might end up being a scoreless draw. I have the U.S. winning this group and Wales coming in second.
It doesn't shock me.
I think this is the classic example of a team that has so much hype and stuff coming into it, where it's like, this is our World Cup to finally get to the quarterfinals, like make a big run. We have all this talent
for England.
Exactly, and I think there's a real shot they crack under that pressure, especially if, let's say, you can't score against Iran, and all of a sudden you're staring at, now we have to beat the U.S. And that's why I think the U.S.-England game could be so open scoring and so open flowing, is because they'll be like, we have to score goals now because Wales and U.S. are going to score goals against Iran, or maybe they'll score a couple of goals, and then we're behind the 8 ball. So I see it playing out as Wales ends up beating England, 1-0 and advances out of the group.
You're expecting the Brits to hold on to established tradition.
Well,
come on, man.
I hate to do it. I really hate to do it.
So you don't have England getting out of the group, though?
Yeah, it's a lot like Germany in 2018. I think it's a really good side.
I think he's picking the jersey.
I think things
and I get it.
I think things just fall. They don't fall right for them. I could see.
It's not crazy.
I could see England and U.S.
Given the group, it's not crazy. However, I think what you're saying is England has a treasure tradition of getting to the World Cup and falling in the face.
But take away the jersey and what has England, for England and U.S., what have both of those sides done that's proven that they're better than Wales or
made it really far
than Wales? Because I could argue that Wales has looked better than both of those sides, for the last year.
Well,
maybe not year.
We do want to give England credit for making the European finals last year.
Yes. But
they have been proverbial chokers otherwise. I mean, 2018, losing to Croatia in the semis. 2016, losing to Iceland. 2014, who'd they lose to there?
Somebody.
I am blanking right now, but 2010 they lost to Germany 4-1.
Yeah,
fun game there.
That's my thing. Is
why am I leaning towards?
I don't know why it's in England.
Oh, they didn't get out of the group in 2014 because Costa Rica won that group.
That's right. That's right.
It's not like England is bad. I think England is actually a top 10 or top 11 side. I think they're very good. It's just you're gonna have one team in this World Cup that falls flat on its face, and I'm gonna go with them playing against the teams they're playing against in this group. That's fair. That's what I'm going.
That's why they're not in the can't lose parlay.
You inspired me.
All right,
not with this group.
What do you got with this group?
I've got England, U.S., Wales around.
Okay.
And it's going to be a tight race. It's going to be a tight race.
This is
like Gore Bush 2000 or.
Well, no, because I don't think the United States is going to be actually we lost 2-3 before advancing.
This could be
I think the team that won actually will win.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring politics.
But basically, this group could be 2 draws, and whoever scores the most against Iran advances.
I think you're disrespecting
Iran. Well, I'm going.
No, I'm not, because I think Iran is so good defensively.
Iran
that's going to be hard.
They're a defensive rock in there, and their manager Carlos Queiroz. I probably botched that. Forget how his name is pronounced. I think it's Queiroz.
Is he cool too?
He's pretty cool.
Is he hip with the kids?
He's no. I lose Cisse. I want him as my substitute teacher.
That's fair.
But Mitch, I'm with you.
He's not going to give away an easy goal. Is what I'm saying.
I'm with Mitchell on the reasonable train here. Not with Brandon.
True.
England 1, USA 2. I think with Kane and Sterling and crew, too much attacking talent in that front unit. Grealish, Mason Mount. They got a lot of playmakers.
You're naming all these guys. What have they done in the last 5 months?
Last 5 months.
It just hasn't
They've been playing soccer. I don't know.
It just hasn't looked cohesive.
All right.
Vacations with their family.
USA. My point on USA is this: I can't wait for the World Cup to be in America in 4 years.
Thank you.
I think we're building up to that. It'd be great.
That's the one. Yeah.
It'd be great to get out of the group this time to build with this young core. I think if I saw a stat correctly, the U.S. had the youngest average starting 11 in qualifying. It was just under 24 years of age. And the second youngest was Ghana at almost 26. So almost 2 years more. That's how young the United States, how young their lineups are. They are pumping out some very young talent right now. Obviously, everybody knows about Pulisic, but it's the other guys too. Gio Reyna, Weston McKennie, the Musas, the Weahs, Tyler Adams. They got so many young. Joe Scally's a 19-year-old.
They left guys off
the team.
He's got a lot of names.
USA has a lot of just guys I'm excited about to watch the next 10, 12 years. So I don't think they're good enough to actually beat England and win this group. I do think they're good enough to make it out and just build a whole lot of anticipation for 2026.
If you're the U.S., do you play for a draw against England, especially if you beat Wales?
Well, it depends. I mean, you can't look past Wales.
You play to win the game.
No, well, if you beat Wales, you can do anything you want.
You can basically
your pants off.
That might get a penalty.
But no, I do agree with you that this World Cup, I think they make it to the knockout stage and probably get eliminated. Around 16.
Yeah.
But I think when the World Cup comes to America or to the 3 nations that are hosting it in 2026, I think they have a real shot to make the quarterfinals. Maybe the semis.
Well, we'll see. We'll have a lot of guys coming up right into their prime. So 2026 is going to be very exciting. One other note about Wales, I just want to mention their spirit, their team camaraderie. I am very afraid of that first game against Wales. Gareth Bale, what he did against Austria in the European playoffs with those 2 goals, that free kick that was out of this world to pull his team out of the depths of pit. I don't even know the word.
The depths of
the
abyss.
Yes, and just put that team inside of his backpack. Gareth Bale's awesome.
And that's what I'm.
And we shouldn't stain his name, but I don't have him advancing out of the group, so I'm sorry, Gareth Bale, if you're watching.
But I think in one of those matches against the U.S. or England, he's gonna like score a goal that someone's gonna be like, "Are you kidding me? Like, how did you do that?"
It's gonna be on TikTok.
And we also, yeah, exactly.
What?
He's gonna be on TikTok. Turn on the TikTok camera.
Kyle, turn the TikTok camera on.
Oh, great. But
should we go to see?
Wales is also playing in their first World Cup since 1958. So that's another thing that like we maybe we're like thinking about it in a sense of like their thought process against England is going to be like, we want to beat these guys.
But they have
like a rivalry type of thing.
Oh yeah,
they're definitely going to like have a little bit of juice.
It's not like they're without big match experience, though. I mean, Euro 2016, they did make the semifinals, and you know,
and there's other guys outside of Bell like Ramsey and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I mean, they have a little bit of class across their roster, but Bell is the clear one.
I'm glad we got some disagreements though. So Group A, we both had Senegal and Netherlands advancing, and then Group B, me and Mitchell had England and America. Brandon though, no England, just USA and Wales. If you're enjoying this, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, ask us questions. We'd love to get you involved though.
Boo Brandon if you're British.
Yeah, boo me if you're Tunisian.
I love the food.
Group C.
Love the food.
Group C setting the table here. I've got Argentina 1, Poland 2, Mexico 3, and then, Saudi Arabia. You were in 4th. I think, this Argentina team is special. They're on a 35-match unbeaten streak. That's the second longest international streak of all time. Only to Italy's from 2018 to 21. They're right up there, though, with that great Spain team from 07 to 09. I mean, this is a really good Argentina squad, and it's not just Messi and the guys up front. They got a midfield triangle: Paredes, Lo Celso, De Paul. I do worry about their back four, but Argentina's chances. I mean, they've actually overtaken France now as the second favorite to win the entire competition.
The computers love them.
So Argentina, I think you got to have winning. You got to have them winning Group C.
I think all the data and all the form that people like to talk about, like what form is the team in.
Mm-hmm.
Argentina is like the team.
It's like the Jaguars. They're great on paper. Great analytics.
Great on paper.
I think Argentina can actually win games. Right?
Great on paper with the best player of his generation. Like you could argue.
Other than Cristiano.
Yeah, exactly. So, and this is their last hurrah too. Like if they don't win it now, it's a disappointment. It's the one thing on Messi's like trophy case. On his trophy shelf or in his trophy case that he doesn't have. He doesn't have a World Cup. And I think those guys are going to be motivated to win one, not only for themselves, but for the best player. For the giver. For the best player or the second best player of his generation. Like Messi is that good.
What about the race for second, though, in Group C? Who do you guys have along with Argentina? Because I'm assuming you both have Argentina.
I said it earlier. Mexico does not, they always advance. So it's hard for me to look at how they played recently and be like, that's a detriment. They scored 13 non-penalties in their 14 qualifier games, and that was less than Panama, who didn't even get to the playoff match out of the CONCACAF. So there's not a lot of goal scoring, but there's unlike England, there's something about Mexico. When the World Cup lights turn on, they show up. And I think Mexico and Poland have a knockout type of match, a 2-1 style match where it's up and down the field, it's very high paced, and Mexico just finds a way to advance. And that's nothing against Swiderski and Poland or Lewandowski being like one of the greatest strikers, in that country's history. He probably is the greatest.
He's the best player in Poland's history,
for sure. There's something about Mexico when World Cup comes around. Like they just play differently, and so I just think they find a way to ink out like 2 victories that no one saw coming.
All right, break the tie, Mitchell.
Brandon's over here giving very long-winded and long-winded, but
there's numbers to back up.
Hey, I'm not saying that you're unjustified. You're giving very thoughtful answers. I Poland.
Thank you.
Poland.
You don't have to say anything else.
Poland. It's going to be Poland, Brandon.
Lewandowski's going to score 3 goals.
I know you're a big
I love European teams.
I know you're the big CONCACAF guy.
It's not about being
It's like the ACC over here.
It's not about being a CONCACAF guy. It's about, you mentioned it earlier. Lewandowski hasn't scored in 3 World Cup matches.
Yeah.
He scored.
I did mention
so that means he's due.
I guess he's due. So if he scores 3 goals and Poland advances, cool. But
I don't go crazy.
Show it on a World Cup stage like Mexico has.
Look, we saw it though in the playoff against Sweden. This is different supporting cast now that Poland has surrounding.
And I did mention that with Swiderski and all the other skiers.
Look, my one note on Mexico, they were 0-2-2, 2 draws, 2 losses in the 4 qualifying matches against the USA and Canada.
Bad.
The good teams of CONCACAF. They were 0-2-2 against. And I just think it's good build-up play. It's poor finishing, though, for the Mexicans. They don't have a number 9 finisher who I trust. That's why I have them in third.
That's fair.
Really.
And they could create more chances against Poland and not capitalize. So, yeah.
Well, Poland's going to capitalize if they get the chance because they got that bad man. Let's move on to Group D. France, Denmark, Australia, and Tunisia are the teams. I'm going to start at the bottom. As I said before, I do think Tunisia
Leave them alone.
is the worst team at this World Cup. They were lucky to
said it
qualify.
18 times.
They played.
So what happened
in the African playoffs, though? First of all, I think they played. I forget if it was Equatorial Guinea or I don't know. Something happened in the second round, but then in the third round, they got paired up against Mali, who's the only African team in that round who has never played in the World Cup. They got the easiest matchup in the third round. I just think it's an aging front line. I don't have a lot of confidence in Tunisia. Australia kind of weak too. They have a lot of guys who play domestically in Australia, and they're just not as classy as France and Denmark.
The Australian domestically is
you care about how they eat their food?
Not the classy in that sense. So I'm assuming you guys both have France and Denmark, some combination 1-2?
I like the Socceroos, but
you like the Socceroos? Yeah, this should be a very quick conversation because if you want to have France and Denmark, you're just wrong.
Yeah, France isn't bulletproof anymore, I don't think, especially with those 2 midfielders being out.
How dare you?
But they're clearly better than all but 5 teams in this World Cup.
So here's the case if you're anti-French. The case is
don't be like that.
No Conte, no Pogba. There's 6 midfielders on their World Cup roster right now. The 6 middies they're bringing to Qatar have 60 combined caps.
10.
This is an extremely young and inexperienced midfield group that they're bringing. Also, what I mentioned before, the curse of the defending champion.
Right.
Whether it was Italy in 2010 in South Africa, Spain and Brazil in 2014, or Germany in Russia 4 years ago, the defending World Cup champion has not made it out of the group the last 3 editions. So that would be the case against France. The case for France is I don't care about that because their attacking depth makes me salivate upon saying these names of Benzema, Mbappe, Griezmann, Dembele, Coman, and Nkunku. We can go on and on. Okay, France is not getting out of this group. That's why they were the first leg in the can't lose parlay.
Is Mbappe the best player?
No.
Is he one of?
Well, yes.
Then who's the best player in the world?
The best player in the world right now is Kareem.
Well, actually,
so you're saying another Frenchman?
Could he be hurt right now?
Another Frenchman?
I would say it's either Ben's S Class or KDB or.
Could his team not be in the World Cup and it's Norwegian?
That's true. Erling Haaland might be the best player. I don't know.
Yeah.
Any other? I mean, and then Denmark. It's just nice to see Eriksen back. They just made the semifinals of the Euros last year.
When they qualify for a World Cup, they make the round. They perform well.
And they have a very well balanced team. Kind of like Mexico, not a true number 9 that I trust, but Denmark I like everything about their roster. It's very safe to me.
And I love Schmeichel. That's why I think Schmeichel has a real chance to win the Golden Glove. That wasn't just let me get out the dartboard and throw a dart at it and see what odds it lays on. I actually do believe he can save a lot of shots this World Cup and keep them going.
Anything else about D? Group D?
I guess we'll save this for later, right? Like,
unless it's about a Group D team.
Yeah, I mean, Denmark could make a run.
They could.
Like quarterfinals.
Like I said, there was plus 250 for them to win the group.
Right. That's
even if you don't believe
crazy.
in it, it's a decent number.
That's a really good one. I do like that because.
And it's not against France. It's just like France can lose like 1-0 to Denmark and then blow everyone else out, but it matters.
When there's two teams though that are like really good in a group and two teams that are clearly below them, like we have in Group D.
Yeah.
Like Denmark, all they have to do basically is draw France and then have better goal difference. Yeah. Which could happen. I think France is ridiculously stacked.
Like I don't think France or I don't think Denmark wins that group, but that number,
it's
worth.
That's good value.
Yeah,
really good value. Yeah, well, let us know what you guys think about Group D or any of these groups, please. If you got a question or a comment, let us know as we continue, though. We're just going to make our way through. We've done half the groups. We're going to do the other half now. And the team that I love next, they're in Group E. And I'm excited to see who you guys have winning this group.
No, you're not.
I like Germany at the top.
Really?
What else is new?
Mister, I'm wearing a Germany shirt right now.
Spain, number 2. Japan, number 3. Costa Rica, number 4. Call me a kindergartner at recess because I've brought all the chalk today. Does anyone else, you got Germany winning, right?
I called it the group of death. I think there's 3 out of the 4 teams are very good. And 2 of those teams are excellent.
Have a real shot.
I actually think Costa Rica is like a decent side, but they have no chance of advancing in this. And like that's how like crazy it is. They have absolutely no chance of getting out of this group. And so
a group of death if your third team is no chance.
Well, their 4th team has absolutely no chance.
So what to do with Japan? Why
I actually am a little high on Japan. I think.
Why?
I mean, the way they looked against the U.S.
Is that CONCACAF bias again?
The U.S. was playing like they're basically.
And the way they played against UNC on Saturday.
No, I mean, come on. The U.S. was basically playing their A squad, and they got ran off the field by Japan.
They're a well-oiled machine.
Like Japan has been very good as of late, and they head into the group. I mean. Let's see. They've lost twice in their last 13 matches since October of 2021, and they have young breakout guys who have a chance. I mean, they have one dude right now who's killing it in the Premier League.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Daichi Kamada in the Bundesliga. Actually, is very.
He's also doing it as well.
That's what I've got my eye on.
Yeah. I just think they actually have some like juice.
Okay.
But
Spain or Germany?
I think Spain and Germany.
Who's at 1 for you?
For me, I'm going to go Spain just because I think there's a little bit more of like. I think there's a little bit more of like offensive.
Brandon, why'd you do that?
Football. Why?
Why'd you do that?
Why is it not Spain, Germany? I don't understand.
Brandon, why'd you do that? Because now we both have to pick against Germany.
Now you both have to jump off my balcony.
now we're both on Spain to win the game.
I just think
and we have
Spain,
to break Greg's Germany.
I just think Spain scores more goals against Costa Rica than Germany does. Like that's nothing against like Germany. Right. I just think that's what happens.
So Mitchell, let's hear your case for Spain.
Germany
or against Germany.
You're getting old, man. You're depending on these younger guys to step up. It's gonna be who was your young breakout player?
Jamal Musiala.
He's gonna be the most important player potentially of this entire World Cup.
Well, to be fair, Spain.
Because you need that young blood to get going. Because these old Germans.
Well, there's not that many old Germans.
How that worked in 2018.
Kimmich is our best player. He's 26, 27.
Well, as I'm finding out, that is very old.
Look, that's pretty old.
Germany does not have an old team. The one thing I will say about Germany is their center backs do lack some mobility.
It's important.
It's a very slow back line with Niklas Zula, with Antonio Rudiger. I am afraid if they get pressed up high up the field, susceptible to the counterattack.
Like you don't think like Japan can score any goal against them?
Well, they could, but Germany, they're going to possess the ball. They're going to build up patiently, and I do worry about the center backs getting exposed. Spain, I'm laughing at Spain though because when they released their roster a few days ago, no David De Gea, who a few years ago was
people were saying he was better than Neuer as like the best keeper in the world. They got no Sergio Ramos either, who has been their hero for the last 15 years.
Right? Like their midfielders.
A lot of Barcelona. But Spain does have, I don't know if you guys know who Pedri is, but he's a 19-year-old who plays for Barca right now. And he's the other, like along with Musiala, I mean, I think those are the two top young guys. And we get them both in Group E. Also, Spain, I think they have the best manager in this World Cup, period. Luis Enrique is probably the best coach.
Germany brought a 17-year-old
in my opinion.
who doesn't have any cap experience.
Sure. What's his name?
That's not a very exciting name.
Say it.
I really don't know. Lukaku?
Look, Germany's not just a bag of bones, Mitchell. You will respect the national team.
I respect it.
They also have a lot of experience. Like they like you just scroll down the caps. It's like 63, 54, 42. Like these guys have played.
They're not old though. They're attacking players. Gnabry, Sane, Goretzka. These guys are all right in their primes, age-wise.
You could argue the most important position, the goalkeeper at points in a World Cup.
Yeah.
He has 113 caps under his belt.
Yeah, Neuer's old, but he's still one of the creme de la creme. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Outside of Mueller, there isn't like
he's only 32.
He's 33 and he's
33.
He has 118 caps under his that's crazy. That's insane.
You could call us Germans a lot of things. You can't call us old.
Yeah,
no, we can't.
I don't know. I think
they're
Spain
not geriatric like Tunisia.
Good God, can you stop taking shots at Tunisia?
I like Tunisia.
I think
that's Socrates.
I just think that Spain scores more against Costa Rica. Like that's why. Like I think they advance on goal differentials.
Oh, that's fair. So, but all three of us have Germany and Spain advancing. That's the important thing, right?
Well, I mean,
actually, I have Tunisia making it up.
I'm not even saying that Japan can score a couple of goals, but I don't actually think Japan's gonna advance.
Yeah, if Germany doesn't get out of the group again, that would be super depressing.
I mean, that's gonna be the shock, right? That's gonna be the storyline.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let me set the table for Group F.
I'm hungry.
Group F is probably the most interesting group in my opinion.
Right.
Because I think it could go the most ways with the two teams we have advancing.
Yeah.
We have Belgium as the front runner, but joined by Canada, Croatia, and Morocco. I have to say, I've been getting more comments from Moroccan fans than any other nation saying why is everyone underrating Morocco?
So stay up for Morocco.
So I'm actually starting to buy into the Moroccan hype a little bit.
You're soft.
But yeah, well, I'll let you guys go first with this group. Which two teams do you have coming out of Group F?
This is
if you say what I think you're about to say, I'm gonna walk out of this room.
What? What do you think I want
That's all
to
I'll
say?
say.
You know anything I want to
Say
say?
it.
Belgium is advancing, and if you don't have that, I'm walking out of this room.
But here's the thing, Brandon. Belgium isn't advancing.
Belgium's not advancing out of Group F.
No.
You're about to make me a liar.
All right, let's see what you say.
Hey, you're the big CONCACAF guy. Belgium and Canada are getting out of this
You mean
group.
Croatia?
Croatia and Canada are getting out of this group. And Belgium is going to be. There's a team. Hey, I predicted for it too. There's a team every single World Cup that is a favorite to get out of the group, and they fall on their face. For whatever reason, I've seen a lot of people say France was going to be the team because of their midfielder. The Golden Era. You see that? You see that team on that screen right there? That's the 2022 Green Bay Packers. I look at them and I also see Belgium this year in the World Cup. You're past your prime, dude. You've missed your window. It's over. It's done.
Well,
you might have a lot of the same names, but the luster is more off.
Making the Final Four.
I mean, you're aware that Kevin De Bruyne is still one of the best players in the world. Romelu Lukaku, not in the best shape right now, but he's still a world-class striker. And Hazard could turn it on, hopefully at any time, for their sake.
Here's the thing: when you make a prediction for a tournament like this, the NCAA tournament, you need to throw in a few surprises. And you had yours when you said that the Brits were going to keep Britain. And you know what? Belgium, they've missed their opportunity, I think.
Here's your chance, though, to talk about age. I have Belgium winning this group, but their center back pairing, Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld, 68 years old
Yeah, that's
combined age for their 2 center backs.
Yeah,
So you gotta they're gonna be guys flying by them.
I'm telling you.
They just don't have any better options at center back.
no
So that is a
options.
huge hole for Belgium. I'll give you that.
Canada's hungry, man. And I know that they've had their injuries, but whenever I've watched them play, I've been impressed.
Oh, it's different. Watching them play, they play like a fast-paced version of football.
They
Like,
do.
it's
Canada's
just
very
ping,
fun.
ping, and then like run up
All right.
they throw the ball over the top. Like it's great.
So Mitchell has Croatia and Canada. Who do you have, Brandon?
I have Canada and Belgium, and this is the thing against Croatia.
How dare you?
Like I have Belgium winning,
This is going to be the group that tears us
and
apart.
I have Canada coming in second. But I think it's because Belgium and Canada draw,
Okay.
and then they beat the other 2 teams. Like they beat Croatia.
Canada beats Croatia.
Yeah. And like Mitchell said, Canada's hungry. I think there's something there. There's a little bit of juice. I don't know if I buy into like Croatia's always like really good, and like when they make it, like they usually perform pretty well. But I don't know. I think there's something about Canada and the pace at which they play, and I think that will be an issue for Belgium. I think Belgium will get a couple of goals to Canada. So I think that could be an issue for Croatia as well. It's just the pace at which Canada plays.
Okay, yeah. I mean, honestly, I could see any of these teams finishing in any position. Like I said,
That's
it's a
fair,
really
too.
fun group. This is probably where people are going to start to turn us off, though, because I also have Belgium and Canada. So all 3 of us having Canada, all 3 of us having Canada coming
Why the
out of the
Croatian
group.
disrespect? I need to know.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not a good look for us, the USA Canada bias. But the Croatia disrespect is because
We didn't all have Mexico.
That's
true, but they're really the USA's rival. Look, it's a classy midfield trio. I'm not going to knock Modric or Brozovic
exactly.
or Mateo
Those you
Kovacic.
chance.
They don't have a goalkeeper though, so that's kind of a problem.
Like,
Is it another itch?
they have goalkeepers. They're just not great. I mean,
I'll say, oh no, take that back.
Morocco, I'm listening to you guys. Very underrated. They've got some world-class talent. I love Achraf Hakimi for PSG. I love Hakim Ziyech of Chelsea. Exciting, explosive winger even.
Let him hear it.
I'm going to watch him. Don't worry. I'm on. I just think Canada, they're going to be juiced up. First World Cup since 1986. And you guys talk about the playing style. It's very pacey. They have a lot of pace on the flanks. Canada is like a Ferrari just coming 200 miles per hour right at you with Buchanan and Davies on the wings. Then they got Kyle Larin and Jonathan David up front. Jonathan David, one of the top scorers in Ligue 1 in France. Ligue 1, that means League 1, Mitchell, if you didn't know. So Canada's going to be exciting. And then Belgium, even though they do have that aging back line, I still believe in all those top-notch players like Kevin De Bruyne, who can just open up and undress a defense whenever he wants.
He's the best quarterback of any midfield in this World Cup.
I mean, yeah.
He just pings the ball wherever he wants.
Well, Luka Modric might have something to say about that too in this very
Which
group.
is why it's in the same group, and it's so interesting because it's like styles clashing
Yeah,
together.
is that interesting? Why didn't you pick again?
Look, the expectations for Belgium are much lower than they were in 2018.
I think that's a good thing.
There's a reason for that.
But they got an outside shot. And I talked about Spain, Luis Enrique
Outside the group.
I talked about Luis Enrique being the best manager maybe at this World Cup. Roberto Martinez, though, I think he's one of the better managers as well. So I like Belgium and Canada.
Is this their last run though? Like
Yeah.
they really don't have like another World Cup.
Do you see that?
Unless they get some.
Do you see that?
What? It's a glass window.
There's a closed window.
Oh.
Belgium. I see it too.
All right, let's move on to Group G.
Window is
Good
closed.
segue, Brand.
It ain't closing. It's closed.
So G is really interesting. G, we basically what, Brand?
I have a great thing about you, but keep going.
Okay, thank you, Brand.
Keep going.
So G,
Sorry.
I'm just gonna assume
Oh yeah.
that all 3 of us have Brazil coming out of the
You
group.
see that right there?
I'm gonna
That's
assume.
Brazil's title.
Look, first off, I just want to send my condolences to the nation of Cameroon. This is a really tough draw.
Yeah.
I mean, Brazil, Serbia, and Switzerland. I think that's the best
Do they
trio of
just play-
teams in a group. So that's a really tough.
It's up
Do
there.
they play 285 minutes of just park the bus.
No, that's not their style.
It's
But
not.
it's a poor form lately for Cameroon. They've lost recently to Uzbekistan and South Korea.
Yeah, I don't know what you
Uzbekistan.
do.
Cameroon's not getting out of this group. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Brazil. I can talk more about them in the hour, but basically, I got Brazil in, and then the coin flip: Serbia, Switzerland. I actually have Serbia.
Right.
I think a lot of people who don't watch soccer very often are gonna fall in love with Serbia because it is just that classic free flowing. We don't give a hoot about pushing guys forward and scoring goals and not care. They are all attack, no defense.
Right.
With Tadic and Milinkovic-Savic setting the table in midfield, and then Mitrovic, Vlahovic doing the feasting up front. Serbia. I like Switzerland a lot. They're always constantly in the round of 16. They beat France in the Euros last year in that epic penalty shootout. But despite Granit Xhaka and his excellent play at Arsenal this year, I like Serbia to beat the Swiss for runners-up.
Hey, I'm right there with you. I've got Serbia being the runner-up in this group. They have even odds to get out of Group G, and I think that is definitely worth the swing.
So I have the exact same thing, but I have
Serbia too?
I have a little bit of a different caveat.
You Switzerland and Serbia with no Brazil?
Brazil has 9 points, and everyone else has 2.
They all draw each other.
I think Serbia gets out based off goal differential
Okay.
because they don't lose as bad to Brazil.
That's fair.
Like, I think this is the group where it's just going to be absolute chaos. And you talk about how Cameroon doesn't want to, like, that's not their style to just, like, sit back and.
No.
So I think they're going to score against Croatia.
They might. Vincent Abubakar is a very good striker.
I think they're going to score against Serbia. I think they're gonna be on the offensive against Switzerland. And I could see those games being like 2-2, 1-1, 3-3. And the reason Serbia advances is because they lose to Brazil 3-1 instead of like 5-1 or something like that. So I think that's why. I think this table is going to look really weird. It's going to be 9 points for Brazil and 15 goals for, and like everyone else is going to be like 2 in goal differential is going to be the reason why.
Yeah, I had the 9-4-4-0, but again, it's not a knock on Switzerland because they've reached the round of 16 in the last 4 major tournaments. With Shaqiri and Xhaka, anything's possible. But again, not a great
knock on Cameroon.
No, but not a great number 9 for Switzerland. I mean, Braille and Bolo, he's one of the weaker number 9s.
I think there's always like a group where like there's just a bunch of draws and you're just looking at the table. You're looking at the table. You're like, what happened? And then people are like, oh, I hate soccer. I can't believe like there's ties or whatever. It's like this is what makes it fun. Like playing for goal differential is like exciting and yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen.
I don't think you're doing a good job of selling soccer.
No, I mean whatever. I mean
ties are fun.
Now offer you this soccer.
Yeah,
ties are fun. Is the hill you want to die?
There's a reason it's called football because they used to feed. So like we suck. We suck as Americans.
Are you one of those like the Bills are the only real New York team people?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right, Group H, final group. We got rematches aplenty, as I spoke about before. The 4 teams: Portugal, Uruguay, Ghana, and South Korea. Thoughts on this group?
Sorry, South Korea, because Son might not play. I have Portugal and Uruguay, but I actually have Uruguay over Portugal.
Wow, that's bold, and by bold I mean wrong. Okay. Because I think Portugal is going to win the group, and Uruguay is going to be in second. Then going to be South Korea and Ghana.
Here's the thing: Group H, Portugal and Uruguay. There's going to be such a great sense of urgency because if you finish second in this group, you almost certainly have to play Brazil in the round of 16. Yes. Portugal does not want any part of Brazil in the round of 16.
Neither does Uruguay. Does anybody I can't wait to play Brazil.
Well, that's
knockout round.
Well, I think Portugal overall, I just think they have more attacking options. I think they have an elite back line with Ruben Diaz and Cancelo, and the fullbacks are great. Nuno Mendes. I mean, they've got some really good options in defense.
And like you mentioned earlier, this is the best supporting cast. But besides
Ronaldo's got a great supporting cast.
Years. I mean, it's the best ever. So
And for Uruguay, it's kind of like the final leg of a golden generation. I mean, this is probably the last time at a World Cup we're going to see guys like Suarez, Cavani, the goalkeeper Fernando Muslera, Diego Godin and Martin Caceres in defense. So
Yeah.
this is 5 or 6 guys who have been with Uruguay for a very, very long time.
Call me a man of nostalgia, but I think those guys realize the sense of urgency and that it's their last go around, and they just find a way to get it done.
Thanks, man of nostalgia.
I was just gonna call you.
Very excited though about Federico Valverde to watch him,
Yes.
24-year-old Madrid midfielder. He was injured for the 2018 World Cup, so he should be a budding star in Qatar as well. One more note about Ghana. I think they're a young team, energetic, fearless. Again, second youngest team in qualifying after the U.S. But I don't know. I just think Portugal and Uruguay are a little bit better. And then Korea, the Sun facial fracture, that's going to be tough. Kim Min-jae in defense will have his hands full. 10 straight World Cups, though, for Korea. That's the longest outside of UEFA or South America. So they're consistent, but I just think the ceiling for Portugal and Uruguay is higher.
Right. And like you mentioned earlier, like Sun is like a 89, 90 on FIFA. And everyone else is like a 70.
They're mid-70s.
And it's good. And like you could win with that. I mean, Wells could do the same thing with Bell. Like you could find a way to win with that, but the fact that the facial fracture for Sun, I find it hard to believe that they get anything done. Especially against like an experienced squad in Portugal and in Uruguay. And that also is a detriment to Ghana, I think, too. Like, I think this is a great World Cup for, like, experience for them.
Yeah,
a lot like the U.S. But I think it's going to be tough with that inexperience to, like, go up against, say, Uruguay or Portugal in this group.
Yeah. Thomas Partey and those Ghanaians, they just need to, go through, get some good big tournament experience, and they'll be all right. But.
Yeah, no, I got you. No.
All right, so those are our 8 groups. Again, if you're enjoying this, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, ask us a question, whatever. We're getting close to the end here. Just want to give a few thoughts.
If you think England isn't going to get out of the group either, leave a like.
If you completely disagree with Brandon.
To be clear, so just probably the biggest take so far, you not having England, you not having Belgium.
Smash the waffles on the floor.
Me overall Tunisia disdain. Those are like our personalities.
So
far.
we picked actual. We're like punching up, whereas you're like, let's beat up the newborn
Stomping
baby.
down.
Yeah, you're gonna make them feel worse. Come on. If you're from Tunisia and you're watching this, I really appreciate your support.
Greg's address is.
I just think they're gonna finish last in the group. That's all. All right, knockout stage. We're not gonna go through everything, but I gotta say I don't love how everything was shaking out in terms of. So I had Brazil, Argentina, and Germany all in the same half, and those would be my top 3.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I was really confused with what to do with that other side. And so I actually I put Portugal in the final.
Can I see your bracket?
Yeah,
So
I
just want to get a feel for it.
So let's see what's your final 4.
So my final 4: Argentina against Brazil, and then Netherlands against Portugal. I just think I'll just say it right now, but Brazil, they're the most complete team in this field. They're stacked at all 4 levels. Alisson in goal in the net is maybe the best shot stopper in the world. Defense, they've got a good mix of young guys and old guys like Thiago Silva, Dani Alves on this roster. So much experience there. In the midfield, Casemiro, Lucas Paqueta, and then up front, Neymar, Vinicius, Richarlison, whoever. A lot of guys to score the goals. I just think Neymar's ready for that signature moment.
Yeah.
One of you said that's the only knock on Messi's resume, that it doesn't have a World Cup. Truth is, a lot of guys don't have a World Cup. It's a tournament that's once every 4 years.
It's like a Charles Barkley thing. It's like you could be great at everything else, but
sure.
not at the championship.
But Brazil hasn't. Them not winning a World Cup title in 20 years is an aberration, and so I think it's time for them. They've had some really strange losses to European opposition at the last 3 World Cups, at the last 4 actually. But 2010 quarters against Netherlands,
Right.
4 years ago quarters against Belgium, and then obviously in 2014 that semifinal loss, 7-1 against Germany.
I think it shows how great of a nation they are in terms of football, in that they've made every single World Cup. Like they qualify.
They're the only team to be perfect in qualifying, make all 22.
Yeah, I mean,
to be fair, Germany didn't try in the mid 40s because we know what was happening in Germany. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
But,
the point is, Brazil. I don't feel great about a lot of my knockout bracket. I don't like how I have Portugal making the final. I think they could, but it's more of a
I was watching your video today, and you said that the ceiling for Portugal was the semifinals.
Wow.
So they broke through the ceiling?
Well, the ceiling, because, like I said,
No, but they went past the roof.
If Argentina's on the other side, that's fine. But, I got Brazil beating Argentina in the semis, and I've got Brazil, and I feel really good about it. I feel so good that Brazil is going to win the 2022 World Cup. Put it in your diaries.
Wow, how bold.
So, because I have England not advancing, I think the Dutch have a really good shot to beat the U.S. advance.
That's not saying.
I think Belgium is going to make a semifinal.
Okay, that's great.
That's
what about
my
the other semifinals?
Truthfully, I didn't look at the bracket past the group stage because I want to look ahead.
Okay.
But then I thought to myself, I probably should have. So if I'm looking at it as a holistic, I think I would have France in one semifinal with, I guess, would it technically be Brazil and Argentina in one, and then France.
If France and Brazil win their groups, they'd be on opposite.
And then France and Belgium in the other way.
Yeah.
And then so I would have France and Brazil matching up
in the finals. France with no midfielders.
I know, and I've been talking trash about the midfielders the entire time, but there's so much talent that I don't know. It's just hard for me to look past how much talent there is. But the thing is, Brazil, Argentina, whoever wins that, I think wins the World Cup.
Yeah, that's going to be big. If Argentina wins their group and Brazil wins theirs, they could be on a collision course in the semis. That was the Copa America final last year. Both of those teams undefeated in CONMEBOL qualifying leading up to this World Cup. So those are the two, top dogs right now. Mitchell, what's your final looking like, or what's your bracket?
Who'd you have one on the whole thing?
I have Brazil.
So both of you were just the most original people on the planet.
I could go Argentina. I probably should.
At least I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
My final four.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
The Netherlands.
Okay, I have them.
Taking on Brazil.
Okay, I also have them.
France.
I don't have.
Taking on the Portuguese.
Okay. Who does Argentina lose to, if I may ask?
The Netherlands.
Oh, in the quarters. Okay. All right.
And the Netherlands knocks out the other South American team, Brazil. And Brazil continues their reputation of falling just short. Brazil, they're basically, I said that Belgium was the 2022 Packers. Brazil is the whole 2010s decade and 2 years of COVID Packers.
Oh my God!
You have that talent. Just can't really do anything.
So based on
the Netherlands get in there, and then we have France and Portugal. And unlike you, I'm not putting Portugal in the championship. I'm going with France.
You guys both riding the no midfield French.
So Netherlands and France, you don't need a midfield to win. You just need, strikers.
Well, you do, but
you don't need the middle of the field, just the up and the down.
When your talent is that good, maybe your midfield can be slightly below.
Exactly. So
here's what's the final?
Here, the Netherlands versus the French.
Okay.
We're going back to back.
No.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Mbappe's getting the back-to-back. France is winning again. Everybody's doubting France. Everybody's saying, France can't do it because they have a couple people hurt. France is winning.
It hasn't happened back-to-back in 52 years.
Yeah, it's hard.
Sorry, in 60 years.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
60 years.
What a great time, a great tradition. Just like, so
Brazil 1962 was the last back-to-back champion.
Let me give you something. It's been 54 years since this team won a Super Bowl, and they're going to win a Super Bowl this year. Back-to-back FIFA World Cup champions. It's been 60 years. We're all about breaking traditions in this year. We're breaking traditions. That's what we're doing.
See, if I was going to break tradition, I would just feel like the Dutch are going to win.
The Jets are more like England because they won one thing in the 60s, and they still kind of, like to, That's the better analogy. But
You done?
So, based off your bracket, does that mean you have the Dutch winning the group and Argentina? Like
he's got
trying to
Netherlands
figure
and
it out.
Argentina winning their groups
Who
and
are you
meeting in the quarterfinals.
meeting in the quarterfinals?
And he's got Netherlands beating Argentina.
Yeah, my last. Yeah, Netherlands beats Argentina. Brazil beats Spain in a really good quarterfinals matchup.
So
France beats England. They're not going to go as, and then Portugal beats Croatia.
So if I was to have Netherlands versus England, that would mean I'd have to have the Dutch as the second.
Yeah, no, it could be Netherlands, England. Just one of them has to finish in first. One of them has to finish in second.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be a round of 16 match then. So wait, can I just ask, who do you guys both have Germany losing to?
Again, I probably should pull up the bracket, but I would have.
Don't hurt me.
Do you have Serbia?
No, I have Germany losing to Croatia.
Croatia.
Yeah.
Germany losing to Croatia.
Because I have Croatia winning that group and Germany coming in second, and then Croatia continues their hot streak and beats Germany.
Did you just look at what happened in 2018 and you're like,
no.
That's going to happen again.
2018 is not a year I want to repeat.
It's like you were born 4 years ago and that's all you know about soccer.
No.
I know it's not.
Because what did Portugal do in 2018? Yeah, I mean,
they won the UEFA Nations League in 2019.
That's not 2018. That's
So-
every year.
Based off your
Within the last
bracket,
year.
you would have Argentina and Germany matching up in the quarters, right?
Were you born in 2014?
No, I have Germany losing to Brazil in the quarters, and that's my problem with
Were you born in 2014?
So I almost want Germany to come in second
Yeah, exactly.
to
That's what I
Spain
mean.
because
You want to avoid Brazil.
whoever wins Group E is probably going to be in the same half as Argentina and Brazil. And the name of the game, so in my head, I'm trying to rationalize as a German fan, would I rather those first two rounds, do I want like a Canada or a Croatia and Brazil, or do I want like a Belgium and a Portugal? It's almost not even worth it though, because you're going to have to play Brazil at some point anyways.
If you're serious about winning a chip,
What?
you don't duck anybody.
That's right.
Because
Brazil's not going to be ducking anybody.
I do think-
Argentina's not.
I've already said this. I do think Germany ends up in second, so they end up being on the other half. So I think they actually end up losing to Portugal.
Okay, so you got them beating Belgium.
Belgium. Yeah.
And
Well,
then
no, I
losing to
can't have
Portugal.
that. I can't have that. I have them losing to Belgium. You're right. I don't know.
I think
what
you
I'm
messed up
thinking.
your bracket
I
because
messed up my
Belgium and
bracket.
Portugal would meet in the
Did I?
quarters, but it's okay,
I
man.
messed up my bracket. But I have Belgium beating Portugal and then beating Germany, right? That's what it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's pretty much all we've got. I want to do just a one player who he play for.
Oh,
A
shit.
one-player winner-take-all.
Oh, gosh. I just.
Because I think we're about
You're
ready
gonna
to
pull
wrap
out,
up.
like some.
Oh, no.
random-
No. All right. First person to tell me who this player plays for wins and gets to go home a champion, okay?
I'm already a champion. I'm a Jets fan.
All right. I'm going to go with this. All right. I'll do a pretty well-known player.
Okay.
Not, like, relatively speaking.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Make me feel
All right.
bad if I don't know it.
Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
Germany.
Oh. Brandon? If you don't get this, we'll do one more then, I guess.
Denmark.
What? Did he get it?
Is it Denmark?
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking at his paper.
No, I wasn't waiting.
No, I don't know Højbjerg.
I mean, Højbjerg sounds Danish.
Nice.
All right. Well, let me get one more.
Yeah, give him one.
All right.
Yeah.
One more who he played for Mitchell to redeem
Højbjerg.
himself.
Germany is a good guess for Højbjerg.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you a more well-known one.
We're gonna give you like.
Enner Valencia.
Spain,
No. Do you know?
Valencia.
Ecuador.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
hey!
Oh, I mean, you got it
No,
right.
that's a good one. That was a good one because I was like, it's South America, but I don't know.
All right. The final one to get us in the spirit. This one is very tough phonetically. Like it doesn't. It's not like an itch. It's not like a
Yeah, because then you can
like a van.
narrow
You know,
it
all the
down to,
Dutch
like,
players are
Croatia
van
or
something.
Serbia.
Yeah. All right.
A ski.
Yeah, ski Polish. Almos Ali. Almos Ali. He's the best player on a team.
It's
Tunisia.
Close.
It's
I just-
African, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I do know. If you're out there and you know what team Almos Ali plays for, please chat us in. Chat it
Is
in.
it Qatar?
Brandon wins who he played for. Yeah, that's about all I got, though. Brazil's going to win it all, and I can't wait for it to start in 7 days. Any other words from you guys?
This is going to be the best month of sports.
Oh, yeah. It's
The
gonna be
fact that we
fantastic.
still have NFL with World Cup.
See,
With college
here's-
basketball,
I mean,
with
sure.
college football,
I mean, sure. Yeah.
with NBA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sure.
here's
As a
the
LeBron
thing.
fan.
We got
What?
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We have Michigan playing Ohio State in college football on the exact same day. We have France, Denmark, and Argentina, Mexico.
Stop.
Ooh.
Stop.
Ooh. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for everyone who tuned in again. For Mitchell and Brandon, Snowman saying thank you so much. And if you want more soccer and football content, please subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media for more preview videos and informational videos. And we'll be back very soon. Cheers.